Welcome to ABC News. I'm Ron Claiborne at the ABC headquarters in New York. We're going to bring to you a really complicated, bizarre, and I think fascinating story involving the Trump organization's hotel that it owns, hotel and condo building and casino in Panama City, Panama, which is in a literally violent dispute with a business person who owns or has bought the majority shares in that building. The two at loggerheads, fighting one another, literally fighting going on inside of that hotel condo building in the past few days. Here to sort it all out, if possible. Again, I'm going to warn you, this is a complicated story, but really fascinating, is ABC News journalist Aisha El-Hamar Castaño, who we know best from her amazing work after the Bataclan Theater terrorist attacks in Paris and the follow-up stories there in Belgium. She is live from Panama City right now. Aisha, we're going to try to sort this out and make it coherent to people who haven't been following it, and it's complicated, and I've been doing a lot of reading about it all week. Now, there have been fighting going on inside of this hotel and casino throughout this week, flare-ups between employees loyal to the Trump organization, which developed and originally owned this building, and supporters or aides to a guy by the name of Orestes Fentiklis, who bought a majority share in that building. Aisha, why are these people fighting one another in a hotel in Panama City, and how does it relate to the Trump organization?
Yeah, that's exactly, Ron. Actually, what's happening right now is that there is this huge fight because Fentiklis, who is basically the supervisor, the manager of the Ithaca Capital, which is a Miami-based private equity fund, and he's trying to remove the management of the hotel, of the building, to the Trump administrators, because basically he said that it's an extremely bad management of the company, and that basically they're losing a lot of money. And he's not the only one who said that. I spoke to different residents of the building, because as you say, it's not just a hotel, it's also condos ownership, and they all say that they're losing a lot of money. For example, one of the residents who lives in Nevada, he told me that when he bought the apartment in 2007, he was supposed to make $1,600 per night. And actually, in January 2018, the management accepted to rent for 3 nights, $400. So it's like a big difference, as you can imagine. And they were like very pissed off. And what happened is that, first of all, Fentiklis bought 202 units of the hotel in August 2017, and in October he sued the Trump management because he asked to remove them from the supervision of the hotel, and that's where everything started, I would say. And this week, he basically went inside of the hotel, and he was trying to get inside of one of the common space. And what happened is that the Trump, basically they hired extra security guards, and actually there was like a huge fight between the two groups. That was pretty impressive. And you also had in the middle of that different residents who were also participating to the fight, and that's it. I mean, it's a very complicated story, because you can imagine that the 200 employees are extremely afraid of losing their job if there is a change of management. Okay. Well, and Fentiklis is trying. Yeah.
Let me interrupt you here. Just to be clear, the Trump organization and President Trump has removed himself from day-to-day operations, but still technically owns this organization. They are the management firm, and the majority owner now, this gentleman, Fentiklis, he wants them out. Why? I mean, they have a contract which allows the Trump organization to manage this building. How can he legally try to remove them as the managers?
Until 2031, he agreed to let the Trump organization manage the building, and he asked the termination of the contract because of huge financial irregularities. It has not been proved yet, but Fintickley talk about a lot of irregularities up to $1,400,000. So obviously everything needs to be. I mean, there is an arbitration who needs to start actually in New York. And so we will see exactly what is behind all this story. But right now, I mean, you have to imagine that only 30% of the building is being occupied. So they are definitely losing money, and they want a management change. So this is what he's trying to prove, basically. Basically, he wants to avoid any bankruptcy.
And Fintickley and his aides or supporters or friends, if you will, tried to go into the building, go into the headquarters there, the operations center of the hotel, and there was a physical altercation. There was a fight. Somebody got thrown down a hallway when they tried to essentially take over control of the hotel. It's crazy.
That's true, Ron. And actually, one of the security guard has been detained by the police. You need to imagine that. And actually, on Wednesday, Ministerio de Trabajo, so which is the labor ministry, employment director, she came here. Her name is Judith Aparicio, and she came here and she tried to get in, and to be able to have guarantee that the employee are paid, etc., etc. And actually, they didn't let her in neither. This is pretty crazy because it's like an official representative of the government, and they didn't let her in neither.
Wow.
And until today, actually, you can see extra security guard in the hotel. That's very, very interesting. I mean, it's definitely not a peaceful moment for the hotel, and same thing for the clients, they can see that something is going on. I talked to different clients of the hotel, and they told me that.
I got to tell you, this is a very bizarre story. In fact, in a written statement, the Trump organization accused Fintickley of thug-like and mob-like tactics in trying to physically enter the hotel. Now, as I understand it, there are legal actions going on both in the U.S., in federal court here in the U.S., and there was a proceeding there in Panama just a couple of days ago. Any resolution? Does it look like there's any settlement of this forthcoming?
No, not yet. And actually, that's what we are. Fired 10 employees. He fired 10 employees, and but they're still here. They'll still get in. So what he wants to do now is that he wants to prove that he wants to confirm the eviction of these people, and it includes the current general manager of the Trump Ocean Club.
Okay.
So we can expect more confrontation, to be honest, between the police and between these employees, potentially, because they definitely refuse to consider the legality of Fintickley to make this kind of decision. But at the same time, again, the residents most of them are in favor of Fintickley because they are losing money. They are afraid that their investment in this 70 stories building will be for nothing at the end.
And just to be clear, Fintickley not only wants the Trump organization removed as the managers of this very luxury building, but you said they want the Trump name removed from the property, that sign we saw a few minutes ago?
Absolutely, and it would be extremely symbolic, as you know, if they do that. But he wants that because Fintickley say that the name of Trump is not good anymore because of the Donald Trump presidency. He thinks that it's a bad publicity for a hotel, actually, and he also attributes he also say that it could be one of the reasons why it's hard to have clients coming in the hotel.
I got to say, this is a truly bizarre story, and I said there have been flare-ups of violence throughout this past week. You believe there could be more of this. Certainly the two sides are involved in a very heated dispute here, and it doesn't sound like it's cooling off anytime Again, it's between the majority owner of the condos in that high-rise building there in Panama City, a man by the name of Orestes Finticles, and the management company, the Trump Organization. Again, the president does not involve himself anymore in the day-to-day operations of the Trump Organization, but he still can draw money from profits that organization makes. I think in 2016, they brought in, the president reported an income of about $800,000 from that property. So, the president not directly involved in this, but certainly the Trump Organization in a furious battle, literally, physically, with the supporters of the majority owner of this property. Aisha El Hamar Castaño, thank you very much for helping us try to sort out this very complicated, really weird, but fascinating story from Panama City. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you.
Okay, listen, I'm sure this is going to continue for a while, and we will keep an eye on it. Aisha will be down there, I believe, for a number of days, and if we have any more clarity or if there's any more fisticuffs in the streets or inside of that property, we'll be sure to let you know. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ron Claiborne at ABC News headquarters in New York.